April 18, 2022. The hospital room went silent. The doctors had just delivered the worst news any parent could hear. Cristiano Ronaldo, the strongest man in football, collapsed to his knees. But what Georgina Rodriguez did in that moment, what she said to him, what she decided to do over the next 48 hours, saved not just Ronaldo's life, but their entire family. And nobody knew about it until now. Manchester, England. April 18, 2022. 6:47 a.m. Georgina woke up with sharp pains. She was 8 months pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl. Cristiano was already awake, sitting beside her, holding her hand. They'd been through this before, they had 4 children already, but something felt different this morning. Georgina looked at Cristiano and said, "Something's wrong." Those 2 words changed everything. They rushed to the hospital. The doctors immediately took Georgina into the delivery room. Cristiano wasn't allowed in yet, hospital protocol for emergency deliveries. He sat in the waiting room, his leg bouncing nervously, his hands clasped together. He was praying. Cristiano Ronaldo, who faced the biggest stadiums in the world without fear, was terrified. His mother Dolores was on the phone, his sister Claudia was flying in from Portugal, but in that moment, Cristiano didn't move. He didn't speak. He just stared at the wall. The doctor kept talking, explaining medical terms, complications, things that went wrong, but Cristiano heard nothing. His mind had gone completely blank. Then suddenly, like a wave crashing over him, the reality hit. His son was dead. His baby boy, who he'd never get to hold, never get to see play football, never get to teach, never get to love. Gone. Just like that. He asked the doctor one question. "Can I see him?" The doctor nodded. They brought Cristiano into a small room. There, wrapped in a blue blanket, was his son. Angel. They had already chosen the name. Angel Ronaldo. Cristiano picked him up, held him against his chest, and for the first time in his adult life, Cristiano Ronaldo broke down completely. Not tears rolling down his cheeks. Full body shaking sobs. The kind of crying that comes from the deepest part of your soul. But what happened next, nobody was prepared for. While Cristiano was holding his son, Georgina was in the recovery room. She had just given birth to twins, one alive and one dead, and her body was in shock. The nurses were monitoring her carefully, she'd lost a lot of blood, her vitals were unstable. But Georgina kept asking, "Where's Cristiano? Where are my babies? I want to see them." The nurses kept saying, "Soon, you need to rest first." But Georgina knew. Mothers always know. She could feel it in her body, in her heart, something was terribly wrong. She tried to sit up but couldn't, her body was too weak. A doctor came in, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes. She sat beside Georgina's bed and held her hand. "Georgina, I need to tell you something about your son." Georgina's heart stopped. The doctor continued, her voice gentle but firm. "Your baby boy didn't survive the delivery." His heart stopped. "We tried everything, but we couldn't save him." Georgina didn't cry. Not at first. She just closed her eyes and nodded slowly. Then she asked, "My daughter?" The doctor smiled. "She's perfect. Healthy. Strong. She's in the nursery right now." Georgina opened her eyes. "And Cristiano?" The doctor's smile faded. "He's with your son." He's not doing well, Georgina. He's in shock." This is where Georgina did something that nobody expected. Despite her body being completely exhausted, despite losing a dangerous amount of blood, despite the doctors telling her she needed to stay in bed for at least 24 hours, Georgina sat up and said, "I need to see him. Now." The doctors protested, saying it was too dangerous, she could collapse, she could cause serious damage. But Georgina looked at them with an intensity they'd never seen before and said, "My husband is in that room holding our dead son alone. I'm going to him." You can help me walk, or I'll crawl. Your choice. The doctors helped her into a wheelchair. They wheeled her down the corridor. When they opened the door to the small room, Georgina saw Cristiano sitting in a chair, holding Angel, rocking back and forth, tears streaming down his face, whispering, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," over and over again. Georgina told the doctors to leave them alone. They refused, saying they needed to monitor her. Georgina said, "Get out. Now." They left. Georgina wheeled herself closer to Cristiano. She was in pain, physical pain from the delivery, emotional pain from the loss, but all she could think about was her husband falling apart in front of her. She reached out and touched his shoulder. Cristiano looked up, his eyes red and swollen, and said, "I couldn't protect him. I couldn't save him. What kind of father am I?" Georgina took a deep breath, and what she said next changed everything. But before I tell you what she said, you need to understand something about Georgina Rodriguez that most people don't know. Most people think Georgina Rodriguez is just a model who got lucky meeting Cristiano Ronaldo. But her life before Cristiano was harder than anyone realizes. She grew up in a small town in Spain called Jaca. Her father was Spanish, her mother was Argentine. They had almost nothing. Georgina worked as a cleaner, as a waitress, as a babysitter, any job she could find to help her family. When she was 21, her father died in a car accident. Georgina was the one who had to identify his body. She was the one who had to tell her younger sister. She was the one who had to plan the funeral because her mother couldn't function. At 21 years old, Georgina Rodriguez learned what real grief looks like. She learned how to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. After her father's death, Georgina moved to Madrid. She worked at a Gucci store, selling luxury bags to people who spent more on one purse than her family made in a year. She lived in a tiny apartment, sent money home to her mother and sister every month. She was surviving, not living. Then one day in 2016, Cristiano Ronaldo walked into that Gucci store, and her life changed forever. But here's what people don't understand. Georgina didn't fall in love with Cristiano the celebrity. She fell in love with Cristiano the person. The man who was gentle with his son, who called his mother every day, who worked harder than anyone she'd ever met. She saw past the fame, past the money, past the image. She saw a man who was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders and needed someone who understood what real struggle was. Now, sitting in that hospital room, watching Cristiano break down, Georgina understood something clearly. She had survived losing her father. She had survived poverty, loneliness, and pain. And now she would survive this. But more importantly, she would make sure Cristiano survived too. Because that's what love is. Not standing beside someone when everything is perfect, but holding them together when everything is falling apart. She wheeled herself right next to Cristiano's chair. She gently took Angel from his arms and cradled the baby boy herself. She looked at him, memorizing his tiny face, his little fingers, his perfect nose. Then she looked at Cristiano and said words that would define their relationship forever. Georgina held Angel in one arm and reached out to touch Cristiano's face with her other hand. Her voice was steady, clear, stronger than it should have been. She said, "Cristiano, listen to me. You are not a bad father. You are the best father I know. This wasn't your fault. This wasn't my fault. This was life being cruel and unfair. But we have a choice right now. We can let this destroy us, or we can let this make us stronger." Cristiano tried to speak but couldn't. Georgina continued. "Right down the hall, our daughter is waiting for us. She's alive. She's healthy. She needs us. Cristiano Jr. needs us. Eva needs us. Mateo needs us. And Angel, our beautiful Angel, he needs us to honor his life by living ours fully. Can you do that? Can you be strong for them? For me?" Cristiano looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. Here was this woman who had just given birth, who had just lost a child, who should be the one falling apart, and instead she was holding him together. He whispered, "How are you so strong? Georgina smiled through her own tears. Because I have to be. Because you need me to be. Because our family needs me to be. They sat there together for almost an hour, taking turns holding Angel, saying goodbye in their own way. Then Georgina made a decision that shocked everyone. She told Cristiano, "We're going to announce this. We're going to tell the world. Not to get sympathy, but because there are thousands of parents out there right now going through the same thing, feeling like they're alone. And they need to know they're not." Cristiano was hesitant. "The media will destroy us with this. They'll make it into a circus." Georgina shook her head. "No. We control the narrative. We tell our truth, on our terms. And then we move forward." That night, from Georgina's hospital bed, with Cristiano beside her and their newborn daughter sleeping in a crib next to them, they wrote a statement together. The statement said, "It is with our deepest sadness we have to announce that our baby boy has passed away. It is the greatest pain that any parents can feel. Only the birth of our baby girl gives us the strength to live this moment with some hope and happiness. We would like to thank the doctors and nurses for all their expert care and support. We are all devastated at this loss, and we kindly ask for privacy at this very difficult time. Our baby boy, you are our angel. We will always love you." But what Georgina did next, what she planned while still in that hospital bed, was truly unbelievable. The statement went out on April 18 at 11 p.m. Within minutes, the entire world responded. Football players, celebrities, fans, everyone sent messages of support. Manchester United cancelled training. Liverpool fans, their biggest rivals, held up a banner at their next match that said, "You'll never walk alone, Cristiano." The love and support was overwhelming. But while Cristiano was reading messages, crying at the kindness of strangers, Georgina was making phone calls. Her first call was to Cristiano's mother, Dolores. She said, "I need you to come to Manchester tomorrow and stay for 2 weeks. Cristiano is going to try to act strong, but he's going to break. When he does, he needs his mother." Dolores was on a plane the next morning. Her second call was to Cristiano's therapist. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo has a sports psychologist, someone who helps him deal with pressure and performance anxiety. But now he needed something different. Georgina arranged for a grief counselor to come to their home every day for the next month. She didn't ask Cristiano, she just did it. Her third call was to Manchester United. She spoke directly to the manager and said Cristiano is going to want to play in the next match. He's going to say he's fine. Don't let him. He needs 2 weeks minimum. The manager agreed. But the most important thing Georgina did was this. She made a rule for their home. A rule that she enforced strictly for the next 6 months. The rule was simple. We talk about Angel every single day. We don't pretend he didn't exist. We don't avoid his name because it hurts. We honor him by remembering him. She created a small corner in their home with Angel's blanket, his footprints from the hospital, a candle that they lit every evening. Every night before bed, they would all gather there. Cristiano, Georgina, and the kids. And they would talk about Angel. Sometimes for 2 minutes. Sometimes for an hour. But every single day. At first, Cristiano resisted. "It's too painful," he said. "Every time I think about him, I break down." Georgina held his hand and said, "Good. Break down. Cry. Scream. Feel it. Because if you bottle it up, it will destroy you. I won't let that happen." Slowly, painfully, day by day, Cristiano started to heal. Not forget. You never forget losing a child. But heal. Learn to live with the grief instead of being crushed by it. And it was all because of Georgina's strength, her planning, her refusal to let their family fall apart. But the most unbelievable thing she did, she saved for their daughter. Their daughter, born on the same day Angel died, was named Bella Esmeralda. Beautiful Emerald. She was healthy, perfect, a miracle. But Georgina knew that one day, Bella would ask questions. She would wonder why there were always 2 birthday cakes on her birthday. Why her parents looked sad even while celebrating. Why there was a picture of a baby boy in their home that looked exactly like her. Most parents would wait until the child was older to explain. Maybe 10, maybe 15 years old. But Georgina did something different. From the day Bella could understand words, Georgina told her about Angel. Not in a scary way. Not in a way that would traumatize her. But in a gentle, loving way, she would hold Bella and say, "You had a brother. His name was Angel. He's in heaven now, watching over you. You're very special because you have a guardian angel who looks exactly like you." As Bella got older, the conversations got deeper. But the foundation was always the same. Angel was not a secret. Angel was not something to be ashamed of. Angel was part of their family. Cristiano struggled with this at first. "She's too young to understand death," he said. But Georgina knew better. She's not too young to understand love. And that's what this is about. Love that doesn't end, even when life does. Now, Bella is 2 years old. When they visit Angel's resting place, Bella brings flowers. She blows kisses to the sky. She says hi Angel without any sadness, just pure innocent love. And Cristiano, watching his daughter honor the brother she never met, finally found peace. In interviews after the tragedy, reporters asked Cristiano, "How did you survive losing your son?" Cristiano always gave the same answer. "I didn't survive. Georgina saved me. She saved all of us." When reporters asked what Georgina did that was so special, Cristiano would just say everything. "She did everything, but there's one more thing Georgina did that the world only found out about recently." 6 months after Angel's death, Georgina quietly started a foundation. She didn't announce it. She didn't do it for publicity. She just did it. The foundation is called Angel's Light and it does one specific thing. It helps families who lose babies pay for funeral costs. Most people don't realize this, but when a baby dies, the parents still have to pay for everything. The hospital bills, the funeral, the burial or cremation. For poor families, this is devastating. They're grieving and also going into debt. Georgina learned this when she researched infant loss after Angel died. She was shocked that in addition to emotional pain, these families faced financial ruin, so she created Angel's Light. The foundation covers 100% of funeral costs for families who can't afford it. No questions asked. No publicity required. No media coverage. Just quiet, dignified help during the worst moment of someone's life. In the first year, the foundation helped 1,200 families. In the second year, Cristiano supports the foundation financially, of course, but it's Georgina's project. She personally reads every application. She personally calls some of the families to offer condolences. She turned her pain into purpose. She transformed her tragedy into hope for others. When news of the foundation finally leaked to the press last year, reporters asked Georgina why she kept it secret for so long. She said because grief is not a performance. Helping people is not about getting credit. This is about honoring my son. An Angel wouldn't want publicity. He'd want other babies to be honored with dignity. That's what we're doing. Cristiano, standing beside her during that interview, had tears in his eyes. The reporter asked him, "What do you think Angel would say if he could see what his mother built in his name?" Cristiano couldn't speak for a moment. Then he said, "I think he'd say what I say every day. That his mother is the strongest, most incredible person I've ever known. And I'm honored to be her partner in this life," but the story doesn't end there. April 18, 2024. 2 years after Angel's death. Georgina posted something on Instagram that she'd never shared before. A letter she'd written to Angel on the day he died, but never published. The letter was simple, raw, and absolutely heartbreaking. It read, "My beautiful Angel, I only held you for a few minutes, but I will love you for eternity. Your father and I wanted to give you the world, but God had other plans. You were needed in heaven more than earth. I understand that now. I want you to know that your sister is beautiful. She has your nose, your little hands, your perfect lips. Every time I look at her, I see you. Every time she laughs, I imagine you laughing with her. You are not forgotten, my son. Not for one single day. Your father talks about you every night before he sleeps. He tells you about his matches, his goals, his life. He asks you for strength. And I believe you give it to him. I see it in his eyes. You made him a better man, a better father, even though you were only here for a moment. That's the power of your love. One day, we'll all be together again. But until then, watch over us. Watch over your sister especially. Guide her. Protect her. Love her the way I know you would if you were here. I miss you every second of every day. But I'm grateful for the time we had. 9 months of carrying you, feeling you move, talking to you, dreaming about you. Those memories are sacred to me. You are my angel. Forever and always. With all my love, Mama. The post got 47 million likes. Cristiano commented with just 5 words. The strongest woman alive. Celebrities, fans, strangers, everyone shared their own stories of loss. The comment section became a space of collective healing. People who'd lost children decades ago found comfort in Georgina's words. Parents who were currently grieving felt less alone. Georgina didn't respond to any comments. She just let the letter exist as it was. A mother's love for her son. Pure. Unfiltered. Eternal. Today, Cristiano Ronaldo is playing in Saudi Arabia. Georgina and the kids are with him. They are not just surviving. They are living fully. Bella is thriving, healthy, happy, completely unaware of how much sadness surrounded her birth. The other kids are growing up with a deep understanding of love, loss, and resilience. Cristiano credits Georgina with saving his life. In every interview, in every speech, in every quiet moment, he tells anyone who will listen that without Georgina's strength in those first 48 hours, he doesn't know if he would have survived. She made the impossible decisions when he couldn't. She held the family together when he was falling apart. She transformed tragedy into purpose, and Georgina? She continues to run Angel's Light Foundation quietly, effectively, compassionately. She continues to talk about Angel openly, refusing to let grief become shameful or hidden. She continues to be the backbone of a family that the world sees as perfect, but she knows is beautifully, painfully human. When asked in a recent interview, "What do you want people to know about that day?" Georgina thought for a long moment. Then she said, "I want people to know that strength is not about not breaking. Strength is about breaking completely and choosing to put yourself back together. Strength is about feeling everything and still showing up for the people who need you. Strength is love in action." The interviewer asked one final question. If you could go back to April 18, 2022, and change what happened, would you? Everyone expected her to say yes. But Georgina shook her head. "I would give anything to have Angel here with us. Anything. But I wouldn't change how we handled it. Because in our darkest moment, we chose love. We chose each other. We chose to honor our son by living fully. And that decision, that choice we made together, it defined who we are as a family. So no. I wouldn't change it. Because Angel taught us what matters. And we're living that lesson every day."